Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Light Fragments Oracle. I'm so glad that you are here. I've been spending some time in reflection because you see, what happens is that life gets so busy between one job and a second job, a family, those that you love and care about, which includes you, all of you, that it's good to take time for reflection. And it's good to think about the things in life that are most important to us. And that's what I've been doing. And while I've been doing that, I came across in my own mind a word that describes what I most admire in people. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking love, unconditional love. But what I'm really thinking about is loyalty. Loyalty is something that is wise. Love is emotional. Love is, you know what they say, love is never having to say you're sorry, which is totally untrue. But with loyalty, you don't even have to have words. Someone will know that you are a loyal person by the way you treat them, by the way you are available to them, and whether or not you have their back or not. And sometimes being a loyal person means ignoring their faults and loving who they are for who they are. And so while I was reflecting on the word loyalty, I thought about what happens to a person when they're in a crisis. What is the first thing that they want to do? Typically, when people are in crisis, they are searching for something more. Usually, they've lost that something. They could have lost themselves, lost a partner, lost a friend, a sibling, a pet, parents, something very precious to them. And that is why they end up in crisis. And sometimes the person that they love is lost. And when there's loyalty, it trickles down to us. And we become lost too. The question here is, do we still remain loyal? And that's where the love comes in. So loyalty is first. I mean, think about it. When you make a commitment, you are making a commitment to be loyal. A lot of people will say, Well, if somebody breaks that commitment, if it's a partnership, then there is no basis for loyalty. But if the other party is disloyal and you remain loyal, they are looking straight in the mirror at their wrongs. Let me give you an example before I start talking about makeup today, because I don't like to just do makeup, and I don't like to just do cards. I always like to give you a message that I feel will help you make choices, where you can look at the possible consequences of whatever choices that you make. Critical thinking. And you can't have critical thinking without having reflection. And having reflection means you need to take a step back, away from the grind, to be able to see it. My example is when someone comes to you or they're angry at you about something that they either think you did, because perception is everything, or that you did, or perhaps you said something to trigger that person and they come back at you like a roaring lion, ready to rip your head off. You may be triggered at that point to have a panic attack. You might feel your knees shaking. Your head might get cloudy. You might not be able to talk or think, and they might even not allow you to talk or think because they're roaring. When you get to the point that you know yourself inside and out, because you get up every morning and you look in the mirror and you look into your own eyes and you know what you do and you know who you are and you know how you act, positively and negatively. But above all else, you know that you are loyal. That gives you clout. Because loyalty trumps love. But loyalty cannot live without love. It's like playing poker. One card is not going to get you to win. So my example is, when this happens and you remain centered in everything that you know about yourself, and that anger or those nasty words or anything that that person thinks that they can do to you to bring you down does not cause you to fall off balance, and you don't come back fighting because you know that that's not really being loyal. That's being loving. The two go hand in hand. There is nothing that they can do to you to bring you down. Nothing. It only flips the mirror around so they can see themselves. And then they have a choice to make. And I'm not saying it's easy. Hey, I get it. I'm a Leo. And if there's one thing that I know about Leos, is that they counterpunch. And they will fight tooth and nail to be right. Doesn't matter what it is. Leos make really good lawyers. But loyalty is a two-way street. In other words, if you're expecting loyalty from me, you darn straight better be loyal to me. And we're human and we make mistakes. And so to fix a mistake for loyalty, in favor of loyalty, we apologize. We admit that we've done something wrong or said something wrong, and we accept an apology. So that is my message for today. I'd like to get into the makeup, but the last video that I did, and I'll put it up here, I mentioned that monochromatic eyeshadow looks are in for this year. And my blue mascara finally came in. This is the Maybelline Blue Sky High Mascara that I just got in the mail the other day. We're going to be using Laura Mercier's new concealer. It's called the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. Take that out of the box so you can see it. This is what the component looks like. And I got the shade 2N1. This concealer is supposed to be incredibly lightweight. Feels very lightweight. Quick drying. So we'll be trying that. And I also picked up a 2-in-1 cream blush by Delancey. And this is 05 Shy is the shade. Feels very creamy. I'm more of a powder blush, but this is like a cream to powder. So we will be using that. And I purchased the Covergirl Olay Advanced Radiance Age Defying Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 10. I have used this. It is extremely lightweight. And I have the color 120 in Creamy Natural. So let's get going on the makeup. I'm going to put, that is one full pump, well, in a little bit more. It's very liquidy, very similar to some of the original liquid CoverGirl foundations. And when I put this on the other day, creamy beige tends to be my color or shade in pretty much all of the CoverGirl foundations. But if you go way back with the CoverGirl foundations in the bottle, yeah, this does not have that Noxzema smell, which I love so much. It has kind of like it almost reminds me of Pond's cold cream smell to it, but it is incredibly lightweight and very sheer. So the first time that I put this on, I needed to put on 2 applications. But I'm going to tell you, I wore it all day long. It doesn't look like you're wearing foundation. My suggestion, if you have pretty prominent pores, is to go back, which is what I'm going to do, because I do have some prominent pores, and take a little bit of the foundation and just kind of pounce it in to make sure that it gets in your pores. And you do not have to worry, because this did not make me break out, and I have sensitive skin. Although if you are someone that doesn't like fragrance, this might not be for you, because it does initially have a pretty strong fragrance. It's a good color match. Now, some of you have mentioned that some of my foundations look yellow. I prefer to say warm. But sometimes I do videos in the evening, and it does change the look of the foundation a little bit, as opposed to if I was in, had a window in front of me. It does not cover up all of my spots. It allows them to shine through a little bit, which gives it that natural look. I don't know what's going on here. My allergies have been flaring up big time. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. It all started last week when I used my Koki Arabian Nights eyeshadow palette, and I used the cobalt blue around my eyes. It did not happen with the Natasha Denona over the weekend, so there must be something in that eyeshadow that I'm allergic to. I'm going to continue to use it, but I'm going to pay attention what I use for eyeliner. If I use the eyeshadow as eyeliner, I'm going to pay attention to that. Let's try the Laura Mercier concealer. Let's see if it's okay. For me, I'm really going to put it on because I want to cover that, whatever that is, up. I like the doe foot. It's flat on one side and it's curved. This tone or shade looks warmer than the foundation, but I'm going to blend it in and then we'll be able to tell. It's a good pairing because the Laura Mercier concealer is very creamy. I know that sometimes as we get older, we can get these little bumps right here. But I didn't have them before. And since last week, when I used that eyeshadow is when they appeared. So I must be having an allergic reaction. Although I love the eyeshadow. I do believe that whatever is used to make the cobalt blue, because that's what was closest to my eyes, for that particular palette, I'm allergic to. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I think I might order a lighter shade because I do like it to be really light under my eyes. Okay, let's do a monochromatic look. I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Mini. So I know what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking that, why do I have to be loyal to somebody if they are disloyal to me? Well, you don't. You don't have to be. That's totally your call. I mean, there are all kinds of infractions of from somebody that is disloyal. I'm just saying that if you love somebody, you don't want to be disloyal to them. And when I was younger, I always felt like, when I would get together with my girlfriends and we would talk about our relationships, family, and whatever, that I wasn't being disloyal, because we all need somebody to talk to. We all need a friend. But once that information is out there, you cannot be 100% sure it's going to stay where it lays. And unless you don't care, unless, if you're telling the truth and you do not care where it goes, then there's nothing to worry about. Okay, I use this very light blue color right here on my eyelid. I'm going to use this blue right here on the outside of my eye and in my crease. So basically, monochromatic means staying within the same tones of a color. It's not adding several different colors. Blend that in. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this really light shimmer blue and I'm going to place that with my finger over my eyelid. Just the mobile part and in the center. I like this foundation. It does crease, so we are going to go back and powder it. Okay, that's not enough of a shimmer for me, so I'm going to go over it again. And I'm going to kind of bring it up. All the way up to the second tier of blue. That is really soft and really subtle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eyeliner brush and I am going to use the cobalt blue as eyeliner. I know that I can use this cobalt blue on my eyes. I did not have a reaction with it. Sometimes some of the indie eyeshadows bother my eyes. I'm not going to go all the way over. I'm just going to do the corner. See how I did that? All right, I didn't want to go this far over. And I wouldn't normally if I were looking in my downstairs mirror and I wasn't doing a video. I would just do that V. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to blend that in over my eyelid. See the difference? Now, I'm older now, and my eyes used to be more like this. Okay? So in order to lift the eye up the way it used to be, I'm just going to kind of brush this up a little bit. Just to lift it up. And it gives the illusion that your eyes are not drooping. And I kind of want to use a brush. So I'm going to use my foundation brush here. And I'm just going to pounce on some of this blush. This is beautiful blush. It's very creamy. It's a small compact. And it got pretty good reviews on Amazon. So I have some exciting things coming. I have some false eyelashes that came in that I ordered. I have another foundation that I want to share in due time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sigma highlighter, and I'm going to go under my eyebrows with it. You can also use this in here to lighten this up. It's really handy. It's in stick form. If you have, dark circles right here that you want to cover up even more, then your concealer will cover up. And it's pretty stiff, so you can just kind of pat that in. And all of what I'm using in this video will be in the description box. See, took care of that fallout right there. Okay, I am going to put on my eyebrows. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. And when I come back, I'm going to put on the blue mascara so that you can see it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's put on the Maybelline Sky High Blue Mascara and see how this looks together. It's got that same beautiful wand that the black mascara has. Now, one thing that you can do, if you don't mind wearing a lot of mascara, is you can put your first layer on as black. And then your second and third layer on as blue. Or you can put an eyelash primer on and then put your blue mascara on over it. One thing about blue mascara is you're not going to have that punch of eyelash until you turn sideways. When you turn sideways and the sun hits your eyes, like, if you're talking to somebody outside, or even if you're in an office setting, you will be able to see that beautiful blue hue. And that is what got me so interested in blue mascara. I had a friend in high school, and she had green eyes, and she always wore blue mascara. And it looked so nice on her. It was like, I couldn't stare at anything else when she was talking to me. I just would stare at her eyelashes because the color was so beautiful. And if you're somebody that loves color, go out and get yourself a Maybelline Sky High in blue. L'Oreal makes one too. Those are the ones that I just recently threw away in my stash or trash video. But I prefer the Sky High wand. I was tempted to get a new L'Oreal, and when I came across this, I said, oh, this is what I'm going to get. Now, I'm putting on 3 coats because those of you that know me and listen to me, you know how much I love to really pack on the mascara. And I know this isn't going to bother my eyes because the black doesn't. Okay, I think this is it. So let me turn sideways, see if you can see the blue. Can you see it? Isn't it fun? Another thing that I noticed with this was this eye had a little bit of a problem being wide open last week with that allergic reaction. So it's going to take some time to go away. It takes about 11 days. That's been my experience in the past. What I put on for a lipstick was the Flower Beauty 035 in Spice Petal Cream. And this is one of my new favorite shades. Still, it's inexpensive, but it's pretty hard to compete with Revie Beauty's lipstick. Dahlia, I believe, is the one I want to put on. Yeah, I'm going to put Dahlia on over this. I like to layer lipstick sometimes. So, I will be back with myself all made up, and you guys can see the finished look. Okay, my friends, this is the finished look. Let me put my glasses on because I want to read you an affirmation card. This coming weekend into next week, take some time for reflection. And the reason that it's called reflection is because you are thinking about yourself and looking for the reflection of yourself by pondering yourself, your musings, being quiet, thinking, and being honest with yourself, about yourself. And this daily reflection time is not a time for you to give yourself guilt trips, but it might be a time for you to say, gee, you know, I need to call that special friend. I have one card. I'm going to pull another one. Perfect. The first card is, I am creating the best for myself. Reach for the stars, my friends. Reach for them. And the second card is, I am holding my challenges lightly. You're not going to be thrown off balance, not if you reflect on yourself and you're honest with yourself. You remain loyal and true. You accept your shortcomings. You're not afraid to apologize. You're not afraid to be forgiving. That's what makes a star. It's not what the world thinks. It's the way you feel about yourself. Are you a loyal person? Are you loyal to yourself too? Are you loyal to others, those that you love, even when it feels like you shouldn't be? Take the high road. You won't be sorry. Okay, my friends, Be well, be blessed, be beautiful because you are, because there is no one else on the planet like you. You are a star. And you probably came from the stars. And who created the stars? So when somebody says to you, the universe, or, you were created by, from the stars, well, who created that? And don't let anybody make you believe that you can't say that because it's blasphemy. Because if you recognize that there is a universe and you recognize that there are stars in the sky, then you're recognizing that some power had to create it. Until the next video, mwah, you know I love you. Bye-bye.